everyone. This is Dr. Jyoti Saxena, and the name of my channel is Biotechnology. I welcome you all in another video in the series of biofertilizers. Today I'm going to give you an idea about the biofilm biofertilizers, which can be called as the next revolution in the sustainable farming. So let us see what are the biofilms. There are many microorganisms which have this ability to stick to the surface, and at the same time they also stick to each other. And along with this, they have one more ability, that is they produce some slimy matrix which is made up of extracellular polymeric substances, commonly known as EPS. This EPS is a mixture of proteins, polysaccharides, DNA. These are all produced by these microorganisms which form this biofilm. So, what happens because of these characteristics? A thin, robust layer of the microorganism, which is also enclosed in the matrix or enclosed in the EPS substances, that is formed on the solid surface. They are sticking to solid surface, and this film-like structure on the solid surface is known as biofilm. Now, these biofilms are formed in nature very commonly, and why they are formed? Why they cannot live as the single-celled microorganisms? They form the biofilm because in this case, they are more protected from the environmental stresses. Why they are more protected? One thing is that they all are together, and the second thing is that they are covered by the matrix, mucilaginous matrix. And the examples of microorganisms which form this biofilm are bacteria, cyanobacteria, and fungi. Now, some of the common examples I'll give you, and I tell you that these biofilms you can see in your day-to-day life also. So first one is the dental plaques. These biofilms are formed on the teeth also, teeth of the human beings. And you might have noticed these dental plaques. They are, slimy type of film-like structure which are formed on the teeth, and they are pale in color, or sometimes they are colorless. And when these dental plaques are formed, they can be the cause of the decay of the tooth. Another example is slimy layer on the shower tiles or the swimming pool, rocks. So here what happens, that the biofilm like a structure is formed on the tiles in the bathrooms, and in swimming pool tiles also it is formed, on rocks also. So because of this biofilm production or the formation, what happens, not only it looks dirty, but also it becomes very slippery. So next example is the pond scum. These scums are formed because of cyanobacteria and algae, and these are formed generally in the stagnant water. So in pond there is a stagnant water, and on the surface of that you can see this layer of biofilm, you can see, which is made up of cyanobacteria and bacteria, and these are quite visible growth. Why visible? Because the cyanobacteria as well as algae, both are pigmented microorganisms. So because of that you can see that, and they are also harmful for the organisms which are living in that pond or in the aquatic ecosystem. Next example, which is very common, is the formation of biofilm on the medical devices, for example, catheters and implants. And when this happens, it may cause the infection. So if it is on the medical devices, it's not good. Another example where the biofilms are very commonly found in day-to-day life is the water pipes. And what happens if the water pipe is having the biofilm? Then in that case, it may choke the water pipe. Another thing which may happen is that the quality of the water which is moving in this, which is running in this water pipe, that may be affected. And so the biofilms which are formed in the water pipes are again not good for the quality of the water. Now let's see the applications. So first is the wastewater treatment. We generally use the microorganisms for the wastewater treatment, but here in this case, we can also use the biofilms. And when we use the biofilms, they can degrade the pollutants which are present in the wastewater. Let's see the next one. Bioremediation. It is something that cleaning of the environment with the help of the microorganisms. And here also certain hazardous organic compounds are present. So they are cleaned up by the microorganism. And here in this case, we use the biofilm for cleaning up. The next one is it can be used, or it has many applications in different industries, like in chemical industry, food industry, in bioenergy. And it is also very good, these biofilms, for the soil health and soil structure. And then comes the biofertilizer. So these days the biofilms are also used in the production of biofertilizer. And here in the next slide, we are going to discuss how these biofertilizers are using biofilms. This is a kind of innovation in the field of biofertilizer. Right now, the ones we are using are either the solid biofertilizers or the liquid biofertilizers. But these biofilm biofertilizers you can call as the advanced generation biofertilizer, or the revolution, or as the next generation biofertilizers. So here what we do, in these biofertilizer formulations, we use the biofilm. Instead of using just single strain or just individual microorganisms, here we are using the biofilms of those microorganisms which are beneficial ones and which are good for the health of the plant. And what happens, because these biofilms are having the microorganisms which are also encapsulated in the EPS matrix, so they promote soil health, nutrient availability, plant growth, and the yield of the crop is also enhanced. So because of all these things, the biofilm biofertilizers are considered very good. And here the EPS is the key point, because it provides the enhanced resistance which is not available for those microorganisms which are living alone or which are living singly in the soil. And because of all these qualities, they are more stable also. These biofilm biofertilizers are more stable as compared to the conventional ones. Now let's see the advantages over traditional biofertilizers. If we are saying that these biofilm biofertilizers are going to be the future of the biofertilizer industry, then they must be having certain advantages. So first is that they have the protective matrix. So this characteristic of the microorganism, that they can produce the mucilage and they are enclosed in the EPS compounds matrix. It provides them the protective environment. And when the microorganisms are protected, they can stay there for longer time and they can show the more efficiency. Then second is the enhanced survival. Because the biofilm forming microorganisms, they can survive longer in the root or in the seeds or in the soil, wherever they are. They survive for longer time, and that is because they can resist competition from the native soil microorganisms better. Whether these biofilm microorganisms are introduced in the field or the single microorganisms are introduced in the field, both of these have the competition with the native microorganisms which are present in the soil. So, but these biofilm biofertilizers are better to compete with the native microorganisms. Then the synergistic microbial interaction. Here not single species is there, but a consortia of different species is there, and they interact synergistically. Synergistically means like many of these microorganisms living together, and their combined effect you see. They are interacting with each other, and whatever is the resultant, that you see. So they also improve the nutrient availability and plant growth. They have improved root colonization also. The reason is that these biofilms have the tendency to adhere to the surface. So when you apply them, they either adhere to the rhizosphere soil or to the roots, and that's how they and that's how they lead to a better nutrient exchange, and also the signaling between the plant and the microorganisms is better here. So they always have better colonization. And sustained and targeted nutrient delivery. The targeted nutrient delivery is something which is very important. Here the nutrients and the plant growth promoting substances, whatever these microorganisms produce, they are gradually released, and they are released near the root zone. So it's not that they are released, these microorganisms are present anywhere in the field. They are always present near the root, and there only they produce these beneficial substances. And the last is the stress tolerant. Stress tolerant is something which is very important again, because they are present inside the matrix. So that's why they can tolerate the environmental stresses better. So stresses like drought, salinity, temperature, UV stress. So if these conditions are there, these are all extreme conditions, these microorganisms which are in the biofilm, they can survive better. So that means for the harsh conditions, these are more suitable. If we use the normal solid biofertilizer or liquid biofertilizer, there is always this restriction that they cannot survive in the harsh conditions. So these ones are better. There are certain challenges also. Not everything is perfect in these biofilm biofertilizers. The first challenge is that the complex production process is there, because these biofilms production needs the precise conditions, a precise technology is needed. So that is why the production is not easy. Then strain compatibility is another important challenge here, because here you have to make the biofilm, and also you have to make the biofertilizer. So for the biofertilizer, all the beneficial microorganisms should be there, and for making the biofilm, they should coexist as well, and not all microorganism or any microorganism, if you think, can stay together and it can coexist. That is not there. So you have to choose such type of microorganisms which can coexist, and at the same time they should be beneficial. So this is strain compatibility, and this is a big challenge. Then shelf life, it is 6 to 12 months. It's not much. It is almost same as the solid biofertilizers, but in liquid biofertilizer, the shelf life is around 24 months. So here the researches are going on to increase its shelf life, but right now it's not much. And high production cost, of course the production cost is much higher, so it is right now it is not affordable to all the farmers. So that is one big challenge. So next is the limited standardization. Because right now these biofertilizers are not very widespread. So one reason is that they still do not have any universal production norms, as well as the quality control standards are also not available. So these limitations are there. So and this is a big challenge right now. And similarly, regulatory and awareness barriers are also one of the challenges. There is lack of regulatory framework also, and because it's a new technology, so farmers are not aware about this new technology. So that is also one barrier. So because of all these challenges, although the research is going on in all these directions, and in future I'm very sure that all these problems will be resolved. But right now, all these because of all these challenges, it is not very popular. Now let's see how can we conclude it. You know, this biofilm biofertilizers offer a new generation advanced technique with a superior efficiency as compared to the conventional biofertilizers. They are far more efficient as compared to the conventional biofertilizers. So in future they are going to be big hit. But right now they are not used much. Of course, the commercialization has been done. The products are available in the market, but these products are very less in number, and only in India also some products are available. In Sri Lanka, some studies have been done. They are using it in the fields also, but other countries are not using until now. And the widespread commercial usage is not there, so the data is also not available. So we just do not know right now that how they are going to work in the field. And so lastly, we can conclude that these biofertilizers are the future of eco-friendly and efficient nutrition. With more input from the scientists, their future, the biofilm biofertilizers future, is quite bright. So at last I can say that overall the global market of biofertilizer is expanding rapidly, and the biofilm biofertilizers are expected to be a major part of this expansion. So thank you, and please subscribe the channel if you like the content. Thank you so much.